Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. When I first read this subject, if rules are made to be broken, which one would you break? It called so many things into question that I knew it would be the subject I was going to pick up, for the very simple reason it was questioning my values and everything I had learned about authorities up to now. In fact, I wasn't taught to break rules, but I was taught to think, and so I did. I thought about the real purpose of laws and rules, and I couldn't find a place in history, a time in history, nor a place in the world where this very purpose was the same. And I questioned myself, what are rules meant to do? Shall we break them? Shall we not? And if we come to break them, where is the limit when it comes to breaking rules? To answer this question, I had to jump in my time machine. While driving, I had to think about historical facts that made me, you, all of us, the whole world the way it is now, and which involve breaking rules. Because if there is something that got the world to evolve up to the point it's at now, and I will take it to the next level, it is breaking the rules. Thinking what people don't want you to think. Saying what they don't want you to say. And most importantly, doing what they don't want you to do. The story of our modern world has been made by a great deal of scientists, philosophers, and any thinking person that broke a rule or went against ideology. The examples abound. Copernicus, Charles Darwin, and most recently, Julian Assange. All these people got their word to change for the best. Belying the Holy Bible put us at the right place in the universe. Contradicting creationism put us at the right place in the animal kingdom. And going against a dictatorial or strongly ideological system got each and every one of us to have the rights we have now, and that any individual is now entitled to claim. We've won knowledge by fighting ideology, and by going against the established system, we've gained freedom by breaking the rules. But that's enough for the past. Let's jump back into the time machine. Belgium, 2014. What a nice place. I think here I can be convinced that by my education, by school, by my parents sitting over there, and by myself, and by this little voice inside my head, that almost every rule or law that we have to follow nowadays is made for the best. Why? Seriously, what prevents someone from taking your mother's life? Rules. What makes it compulsory for each and every one of us to get involved in one of the best scholar systems in the world? Rules again. And most importantly, what gives us freedom? Rules. Belgium is such a nice place to live. Freedom is guaranteed by rules. And this is why I am persuaded that our laws and rules and almost everything that we are taught not to do by our society is what maintains our world as sustainable as it can be and as long-lasting as it could ever be. And this is why I wouldn't break any rules. Well, maybe not today, or not a big one, because it's not a stable thing. Times change, so do people. And when we won't be satisfied anymore with the system by which our world is led, we'll have two very single options. On the one hand, find ethical politicians who care about our real preoccupations. I can see you don't really believe in that one. And on the other hand, we'll have to break the rules again. But not today, not in Belgium. Please, we don't really have something to do a revolution against, do we? No, we don't. But at any point in history, people had to break rules. And in some places of the world, people still have to break rules. North Korea, Russia, Ukraine. People still have to go on doing what our ancestors did before us. People still have to rise up for their rights. People still have to scream for freedom. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech, Remy. You said that in history, breaking the rules has brought us to a higher level, but has it also brought us down?
I think that's a really good question, because during my speech I was more going in favor of breaking them is good, but I think it has also been bad. I mean, even before Hitler, there were kind of international rules, and he broke them by doing the war and by fighting against all these people. And I think in some ways it was kind of bad.
Do you think that we can only see the value of certain rule breakers long after they're dead? For example, Copernicus.
Yes, of course. It's really hard now to consider that people are doing the right thing by breaking the rules. When we see people on TV breaking the rules, like Julian Assange, I talked about him. When he's displayed on TV, it's really often negative. We don't already realize how much he got the word to evolve. And I think it takes time to humanity to realize how much breaking the rules is an important thing, when you think rationally, of course.
Remy, I want to turn things upside down. Is it possible, do you think, to live to all the rules, given the fact that every year in Belgium we publish thousands and thousands of pages of do's and don'ts?
Sorry, I didn't get the
I
end.
said, do you think it is possible to live by all the rules? I think it's just impossible.
By all the rules?
To live by all the rules. It is impossible to not break a rule.
Yeah, it's in fact really hard, because for not breaking rules, you have to know them before. And I think nobody in the audience, unless there are lawyers, can pretend to know every rule in the world. I think not. And I think you always break some little rules, but when you think rationally, you won't break any rules that is not good to break. There is that French philosopher, André Comte-Sponville, who said one day, if rules were to be abolished, the philosopher would go on living as he always did. Because when you go for philosophy, when you think, and when you know what's right, you know how to live.
I'm wondering, what is the #1 rule that you personally would like to see broken or would like to break yourself?
I'm sorry to disappoint you and to disappoint our audience today, but I wouldn't break any rules. I'm feeling really, really happy now in my world. I'm really happy when I'm at home. I'm happy when I'm at school. I'm happy wherever am I. And I think rules, if you have to break them, is to better your world. And I don't see how it could be better, so I wouldn't break any. Sorry to disappoint you.
Thank you.
Yes, Remy, I was wondering, in order for us to maintain freedom, we need to follow the rules. Is it necessary for someone to teach us this?
I think, yes. Not teaching you what is good and what is bad, which rules you should break and which rules you should not break, but teaching you to think. I think way earlier we should help child to think, maybe do philosophy. I don't know the author who one day said, we are all born philosophers, only a few remain. And I think we should use this philosophical part that we all have in ourselves when we are born, make it grow, and make it do really, really good things. I think education is a big role to play in this thing. Maybe philosophy classes in primary school could be a really good thing.
Do you think we follow the rules because we're afraid of the repercussions if we break them?
Of course, but I think if someone really, really wants to break the rules, even though it's bad, he will do it. For example, we have the numbers in America which tell us that death penalty is no deterrent. So even though you know there is going to be something really bad for you after the murder, you do it whatever. So I think it's by thinking rational that you know if you can break the rules. I think not a lot of people are afraid of what they are going to get after. If it's a better word, I think it's pretty good. Thank you. Thank you.